Hello, my name is Kaya, and with the help of my friends Kenny, Noah, and Jonathan, we will discuss about a case study entailing Donald Wieser's tweezers business, along with the break-even graph of the case study. Donald Wieser is an entrepreneur who has decided to sell high-quality tweezers to the cosmetics market. In order to make the break-even graph, we need to find the break-even point, total variable cost, total fixed cost, and total revenue. Along with the break-even point also comes the break-even unit.
So as we can see from the case study, the fixed cost of the business includes rent per month, salaries per month, loan repayments per month, telephone, and finally office supplies per month. As for the variable costs, it includes the packaging per pair of tweezers, production wages per pair of tweezers, and raw materials per pair of tweezers.
Calculated from the case study, the total fixed cost of $12,500 is calculated from $1,650 plus $10,000 plus $600 plus $150 and plus $100. As for the total variable cost, it can be calculated from $1.50 plus 50 cents plus $3, calculated equally to $5 per unit of tweezers, while the selling price for each unit of tweezers is $10. With the help of the fixed cost, total variable cost, and the variable cost itself, we can then find and identify the break-even point and also construct the break-even graph as well. With the help of the total fixed and variable cost, we could then finally construct a break-even graph as shown. We can know that the total fixed cost is $12,500 since the definition of fixed cost itself is the cost that does not often change. We can draw it as a horizontal straight line here in the graph since the cost would be constant in a short run. It is then shown on the red line where the number of $12,500 from the graph is what we call as the fixed costs.
Okay, we can get each revenue from the selling price times output. So as you can see from the graph, we have 5 types of outputs, which are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000. As Kenny mentioned before, the selling price per tweezers is $10. So we just need to times the selling price with the output. So 1,000 times 10, which is 10,000. So as you can see, the dot has been added from the graph between the 10,000 and the 1,000. And we're just gonna keep time the output with the selling price until the 5,000 output. So as you can see, we already have 5 dots on the graph, and then we're just gonna draw a line passing the dots so that we can get the reference line.
As can be seen, the total cost is represented using the yellow line. The equation for total cost will include variance cost plus the fixed cost. For every output created, each variable cost must be added with the fixed cost to eventually get the total cost. When the output is 0, the total cost will be $12,500. This is because it is the fixed cost. So it would mean that there are no tweezers being sold because the variable cost is 0. Hence, the fixed cost must still be paid. However, when the output is 1,000, we multiply it by $5 of the variable cost and add it by the fixed cost to get the total cost. Therefore, the total cost would be $17,500. This process will go on and on to calculate the other outputs of the business to get the total cost line.
Now, with all the information we have, we can now try to find the break-even point. So, if you still remember, break-even point is the point where the total cost is equal to total revenue. So, we can find the point of break-even from looking at the intersect between 2 lines, which is the revenue line, the green line, and with the yellow line, which represents the total cost. So from this graph, we can see that the point which the 2 of them intersects is at the point which the output is 2,500 units. So this means that the break-even unit is 2,500 units. And we can also see from the graph that when the break-even unit is 2,500 units, we can see that the break-even point is $25,000. Now this is how we see the break-even point from the graph. Now we will now show you the calculation behind this to prove that $25,000 is indeed the break-even point. So as mentioned before, break-even point is the point where total revenue is equal to total cost. So let us first find the total revenue. So we can find the total revenue by multiplying $10, which is the selling price, with 2,500, which is the output, and this will equal to $25,000. Now, for the total cost, we can find total cost by adding total variable cost with total fixed cost. So we can find the total variable cost by multiplying $5, which is the variable cost, with 2,500, which is the output, and we add it with $12,500, which is the total fixed cost. So from adding total variable cost and total fixed cost, we can get $25,000. And as you can see, both total revenue and total cost are equal to $25,000, which shows that total cost is equal to total revenue. Therefore, $25,000 is indeed the break-even point with a break-even unit of 2,500. Thanks for listening to our presentation.